away from it 20 years ago, agreeing to follow Maureen, but he'd always known he would return. This was what it meant to bear the name of his fathers, the sword on his hip and the Hadori on his head. This rocky section of northern Salvia was known as the Prosper Flats. It was a grim place to ride. Not a plant grew on it, out of a deep sweltering mire, bloated with corpses. The sky overhead stormed dark, brooding. That woman, Land thought, shaking his head. How quickly Nynaeve had learned to talk and think like an Aes Sedai. Riding to his death didn't pain him, but knowing she feared for him, that did hurt very badly. He hadn't seen another person in days. The Saldeans had fortifications to the south, but the land here was scarred with broken ravines that made it difficult for Trollocs to assault. They preferred attacking near Marathon. That was no reason to relax, however. One should never relax this close to Blight. He noted a hilltop. That would be a good place for a scout's post. He made certain to watch it for any sign of movement. He rode around a depression in the ground, just in case it held waiting ambushes. He kept his hand to his bow. Once he traveled a little farther eastward, he'd cut down into Saldia and cross Candor on its good roadways. Then some gravel rolled down a hillside nearby. Land carefully slid an arrow from the quiver tied to Mandarb's saddle. Where had the sound come from? To the right, he decided. Southward, the hillside there. Someone was approaching from behind it. Land did not stop Mandarb. If the hoofbeats changed, it would give warning. He quietly raised the bow, feeling the sweat of his fingers inside his fawn-hide gloves. He knocked the arrow and pulled carefully, raising it to his cheek, breathing in its scent, goose feathers, resin. A figure walked around the southern hillside. The man froze, an old, shaggy-maned pack-horse walking around beside him, and continuing on ahead. It stopped only when the rope around its neck grew taut. The man wore a lace-tan shirt and dusty breeches. He had a sword at his waist, and his arms were thick and strong, but he didn't look threatening. In fact, he seemed faintly familiar. Lord Mandragoran, the man said, hastening forward, pulling his horse after. I've found you at last. I assumed you'd be traveling the Tremor Road. Man lowered his bow and stopped Mandarb. Do I know you? I brought supplies, my lord. The man had black hair and tanned skin. Borderlander stock, probably. He continued forward, overeager, yanking on the overloaded pack-horse's rope with a thick-fingered hand. I figured that you wouldn't have enough food. Tents, 4 of them, just in case. Some water, too. Feed for the horses. And who are you, Landbart? And how do you know who I am? The man drew up sharply. I'm Bulin, my lord, from Candor. From Candor. Lamb remembered a gangly young messenger boy. With surprise, he saw the resemblance. Bulin? That was 20 years ago, man. I know, Lord Mandragoran, but when word spread to the palace that the golden crane was raised, I knew what I had to do. I've learned the sword well, my lord. I've come to ride with you, and the word of my travel has spread to Esteshar. Yes, my lord. El Nynaeve, she came to us, you see.